Well, good morning and welcome back to Exehaven Harbour. Been a little while, been up to a few things, had a holiday, and as you'll see in what will probably be a reasonably short video today, an update on the warehouse. I have been working on it, and it is ongoing. It'll be ongoing for a fair bit of time yet. So I'm just going to do a little running session this morning before we get on to the warehouse. And I've got a new addition, or a couple of new additions that have arrived while I've been away. And once we get the Western Pullman coming round, letting that stretch its legs this morning, we'll move on to the new additions. Right, okay, so I think there's been a few reviews and odd bits and pieces on YouTube about the new Gagemaster Dapol Class 73. I've had it on a test run with a few carriages. It's not the most powerful locomotive in the world, and around the gradients of Exehaven it won't pull more than 5 carriages. It will do 6, but it's struggling, and I don't like to see that. And even on some of the pulls, especially out of Exehaven Harbour, with 5 carriages, it's on its limit really. But I've got to say, it's a really nice model. I'm quite pleased with it. It runs nicely, and it kind of does what it's meant to do. I'd love it to run a full rake, but it won't. And you know, it is very lightweight. I think that's one of the issues that people have been talking about. And anyway, enough said. I like the model, and I'm reasonably happy with it. The thing that I really did like was that I have been buying Zimmo chips recently, and I'm very happy with them. Excellent chips. But I just decided to go for a Rouse of Sheffield 6-pin nano decoder this time, and I'll tell you what, it's excellent. And I didn't realise it even has the braking function in, and of course on the controller you have to sort of work out when the train's going to stop in time. So very good, and at £20, very good value. Now on the back of this today, sorry about the camera shake here, I'm leaning a little bit, but we've got 4, just after the Gov van, we've got 4 Mk1 carriages that I've just purchased from Ron Lines. They turned up yesterday, and I'm going to give them a run out now. This is going to form the Bugley Regis to Salisbury stopping service with parcels. Whether that actually ever existed, I don't really know. But this is Exehaven, and it's my little world. So I'm going to get this running, and then we'll show you how it's going. Right, now the Class 73 is about to enter the steepest climb here at Exehaven, and that's coming out of Exehaven Harbour station, and it builds up to the two bridges which form the entrance to the harbour. Now, ideally I would have liked that to have been not quite so steep, but the whole layout and the gradients, it's all been dictated by the height of these two bridges and the height that a large liner would need to have clearance underneath them. So it took ages to work all that out, and a couple of kits that I've got which aren't quite end scale, but will do the job for the liners and the ships. They fit under there just about with the masts. So those two bridges dictate every single gradient on this layout, really. So just a little bit of background information if you didn't know already, and hence why there is such a steep one climbing out of the harbour. And like I say, it took me weeks to sort of sit down and figure out how I was going to actually build it. I had a plan in mind. I knew the plan that I wanted to do, which I have achieved, but with the engine like the Class 33, the 73, it is just a little bit lightweight in terms of being able to pour full rate of coaches up there. It'll do these 5, no problem at all. But you put another coach on there and it does start struggling, and I don't really want to sort of wear the motors out, just trying to sort of bang them up these hills. As we come round again, she's going to take the gradient, and I think this is just below 3%. It's about 2.8% this gradient on a curve. But as you can see, it does it pretty well with the 5 carriages, and I'm quite pleased with that. And it, like I've said, it's a lovely model. I'm very pleased with it, and it runs like a dream, as you can see. Now, the 4 rear carriages on here, I've just recently purchased from Ron Lines, one of my main outlets at the moment for second-hand goods. He just had these 4 Southern Region coaches. There's a couple of normal passenger coaches, the first 2, and then we've got a buffet car and a restaurant car, and they were all at a good price, as they always are from Ron Lines. And I just thought, well, I want some Mk1s in Southern Region green, and I thought, right, I'm having those before they go, before somebody else has them. But yeah, so by the looks of it, I mean, this has been going around a few times now, and it's running. They're all running really lovely. The Gov van I bought a while back, I think it was last Christmas in January, or just after Christmas in January, I saw it in the sales, and that was a good price as well, but that was brand new, so that's pretty good. Right, so as we let the Class 73 go down and enter the area of Exehaven Harbour station, I just want to show you as the Western Pullman comes out of what will be Exehaven Town station. This is another, there's a very steep bit just there. Again, I was trying to get away with that a little bit, but because of the dictations of those bridges, if you like, and how I needed to get the harbour station low enough to be sort of fairly realistic, this is Exehaven Harbour station now, or will be in the future. You know, I didn't want that Exehaven Harbour station sitting up too high, so yeah, it was very tricky working that out. But as you can see, the trains do take most of the gradients pretty well. The other gradient that I just showed you, which is just in front of the Western Pullman now, I think that runs at about 2.5%. And I mean, ideally, if you watch Chris at Bottom Regis, you don't, you know, he's trying to go for 1%, which is brilliant. And if you've got the room to do that, go with that. Right, and here she comes for one last time. Right, so now what I intend to show you now is the braking with this Rouser Sheffield 6-pin nano chip in the class 73, which is coming round now. So just bear with me, you'll see that coming into the station now. I don't think I can get it all into shot, so I'll just hit stop, and that's hit stop now, and that'll just come in slowly but surely. Not sure how good that's come out, but actually that's taken about 3 takes to get it to there. So yeah, I'm very pleased with that. That's really, it's really good, that chip. For 20 quid, can't go wrong, unless it all packs up next week. Ever the optimist with model railways. I'm learning. Things aren't always as they should be, but yeah, so there we go. So just to sort of finish up, I'll do a little bit, obviously, like I've said, about the warehouse when I go indoors in a little while. Hopefully I'll get this video out to you today. I have had a few IT issues. My main computer, which is where I do most of my loading to YouTube, has packed up, which is a bit annoying. I can do it from my iPad, which is not a problem, or it hasn't been a problem, but I have had a couple of issues with this loading up as well, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, as for the near future, I think I was threatening before I had my little break, really, was to get some more boarding ready for the return loop underneath. Right, well, that's still on the cards. I still haven't done that yet, for varying reasons. You know, life does get in the way of the model railway, and I shall be hopefully starting that soon. Another thing that I've just been thinking about really this morning is that I might actually get the track layout done for Exehaven Harbour station, because I'm starting to run out of storage now. The more stock I buy, the less places I have. So if I've got a sort of a few platforms to store extra trains, that would be great. Until I've got the lower deck in, then that will suffice for now. So at the moment I've lost all my trains. Hopefully they're all still running. Class 73 going around the back of the layout, and if I just pan you around slowly, sorry if you're getting any motion sickness, and there's the Western. Right, okay, so this is kind of where I'm at with the warehouse at the moment. All the sides are done, and I'll show you a mock-up in a minute. What I've been doing is building the platforms. The T-piece at the end will form the end of the platforms, and where they'll be able to sort of access all the platforms from, and into the loading dock as well when we eventually get to that point. So yeah, it's not looking too bad. Right, okay, so hopefully this will give you some idea of how the whole thing will look. So this will be the front end where the freight goes in, and on the right hand side will be the loading dock where lorries come in and pick up the goods from the goods yard. This other side will form another freight platform, and I'm hoping, if I can fit it all in, it will have a through track which will follow right round, and once I start getting it on the layout, hopefully I can show you how that all works. So yeah, so basically what I'm working on now is the T-piece at the end, just some the brick walling at the bottom of the platform. I've got to make that yet, obviously paint it all up, and then do the platform coverings, which is what I've done so far on the stations that I've built on the layout. And I shall use my black 2000 grit sandpaper for that and weather it up with the weathering powders. But yeah, hopefully you can see how that's starting to look. Obviously this is just mocked up at the moment, it's not stuck together by any means, but it'll give you an idea. Okay, we'll do a few little additions just to show you. Like I said, this would be the through freight platform which would work its way round through the varying places in the harbour. I've made some steps at the end of the platforms. They're going to be covered in the brick texture if I can get them cut right. So that's that. So that's where we're at the moment. Hopefully I can start getting back to doing the 2 weekly updates. It's been a while. I think it's going to be about 3 to 4 weeks since I last published a video. But yeah, but as ever, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and if you haven't subscribed, it is free. So please come and join us and watch how Exehaven develops over the next years. Cheers everybody.